to get something of value, you have to give something up of value. Are the Celtics at a point where, save for picks and obviously the TPE, they are still just refusing to give up anything of real value in terms of personnel?
I think everyone is trying to deal from a position of strength, right? And I don't necessarily think that. I think there's a bit of history, and the Celtics have benefited from this, of teams giving up too much, right? Like the Nets deal. Like you never want to be on the end of a lopsided trade where you go all in for something and it doesn't work. Like that's always, I think, a concern. Now this situation is a lot different than the Nets deal, but I do think that I think a lot of teams are in that kind of position. So the Denver Nuggets are maybe the second biggest competitor for Aaron Gordon. They're offering Will Barton, Bol, and a first round pick as their baseline package. Anything more, and Denver's probably going to say, we'll pass. We're okay. We're good with where we're at. That I think is kind of the difference here. Is like Gordon makes a lot of difference for a contender. One of the problems with Boston, I think, is that they've underperformed so greatly, and it's clear that the personnel just isn't good enough. That there's a lot of concerns, I think, for you have to make a deal in order to stay above water, because they've just been basically taking on water the last two seasons. Now, look, I think this season is a little bit weird. I think this season's a little bit strange. I do agree with you that if you want to get something, you typically have to give up something, like you do. But Ainge has also found a lot of opportunities to offer very little and get maximum return. Like the Kyrie Irving trade was pretty lopsided for Boston in the end, even with how it ended. So I think every GM is kind of looking for the opportunity and hoping that they'll get the other GM to break. I think in this situation, I think it's unlikely. Orlando has shown time and time again that they're just basically willing to be like, the worst case scenario is we make some more money on the back end with a better team by getting more fans in the arena if we make a playoff push. Like that's like the worst case scenario for a small market team. Or they go back again next year with Gordon in the last year of his contract. They can wait till the summer to trade him. They can trade him at the deadline next year. They have other opportunities to make a deal. And so this is, I think, going to be the standoff. The Hawks, I think, with Collins are in a similar situation where they bled for a while, but they've been on a winning streak until last night. And so that's been the word I heard last night was literally they feel like with this winning streak, they don't have to make a deal. And then they blow a 20-point lead to the Clippers because that's how the NBA goes. And that's why you shouldn't make decisions based off of short-term winning streaks in the regular season. This is all to say that I'm with you that I think if Boston's going to make an upgrade, you're going to have to move somebody of consequence. And Kemba Walker simply does not have the value on the market. They're open to moving him.
Nobody wants that contract.
Yeah. But if you're going to move anybody, Marcus Smart is probably the most easily movable deal of all the assets that have value. Nobody's going to be like, ooh, Peyton Pritchard. That's Aaron Nesmith. That's not happening. Smart's the only one that you have that can get the kind of return you're looking for.